this game is really, really different from a lot of the stuff we've shown so far.
Oh, yeah, and please introduce yourselves, because we've been rude and have not done that yet.
Oh, well, I am Dan Tabar of Data Realms. We are very excited to be here as well. This is kind of a first for us, so we're showing off a version of the game that is actually kind of playable, which is a big deal for us after 6 years of working on the tech that this game was built on top of, and now we've worked on the game for like a year or so that we finally have something to go for. This is Vlad.
Yeah, hi, my name's Vlad. I'm the crazy biz dev guy that's helping out Dan to get this everywhere. And I just misspelled my name, but that's cool. It happens.
Guys,
You know,
Just put
born
the
in Transylvania, that happens. You know.
yeah. He's
No
my
worries.
door kicker, essentially. He makes the doors explode open, and then I can walk through them. That's his role in the company.
Pretty much. And I travel the world, show this game everywhere. I'm going to be here. Next is Spain, Brazil,
Korea.
Poland,
Korea.
Quite the jet setter there.
Don't forget Korea, yeah. So I send him everywhere, so I don't have to do all that travel myself. It's a good
totally
setup.
a Viking thing to do.
Someone has to like actually get the game done, right? So it's
Well,
important.
the world needs to find out about this game, and speaking of which, please let us know about the story behind this game.
Okay, so our last game was Cortex Command. It's something I worked on for 12 years or so. It's all about brains in bunkers that you can remote control all these bodies and so on. This is a prequel to that. It's kind of before people amputated their whole bodies to like just be brains in jars. So in this, people are really old. They're badass grandpas and grannies that have lived for hundreds of years because of medical technology, and they get tired of Earth, so they go out and explore space, have adventures. This guy is just one of our pioneers. He's Crazy Bob. He's kind of an eccentric. Everyone is kind of kooky after you live like 200 years, right? You don't give a crap anymore. You know how like a 90-year-old person is. They don't give a damn about anything, you know? So these guys are like 10 times that. Pretty much. And I think we're the first game that I know of, and correct me if I'm wrong, that like has badass old people as protagonists.
That's awesome.
Because
No ageism here.
No, absolutely. And I mean, we might actually end up like these people. You know, in the next 50
who
years,
knows?
there's going to be a lot of, crazy prosthetics and stuff like that where we can not have a heart that, will fail on us and all that
We'll
stuff.
have like
So
a mechanical heart.
yeah, exactly. So we'll live another 50 years, and then in those 50 years, there will be another advancement. So anyway, so this might be us, is what I'm saying. That's why we have like the music in this is like 80s, 90s, like analog synth stuff.
Oh
This is
my
kind of
God.
what we
Set
grew
like
up
a
with.
contrast.
Yeah, well, it's because we might actually be these people that listen to the same music that we grew up with originally. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's kind of like out there. But
You're tripping
that's
me
kind
out,
of,
man.
Kind of so for this segment that we're going to show you guys, this is Crazy Bob. He has just crash landed on a planetoid after his ship just blew up for whatever reason. He's not completely screwed though. It's kind of a Robinson Crusoe scenario. He has an atomizer. Should I get into the gameplay already?
Yeah,
or?
you can jump right
cool.
into it.
We're watching
Yeah,
you.
so we just crash landed. I show you the actual crash sequence. So his ship gets kind of first of all destroyed in this very dynamic manner because our physics engine is something we built from scratch. It's a 2D physics engine that supports dynamic destructibility.
Yeah.
So when he lands here, he can start absorbing the wreckage and get the metals, carbon, water, and silicon from the pieces, basically.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
It is very convenient.
So it's not just, scrap metal that he can't do anything.
Exactly. So his goal now is to get off this rock, right? And it's a big world. It's a 2.5 kilometer circumference, hunk of rock that he doesn't want to be on anymore. Yeah, Gamescom World is it's a little outdated.
I have to say, this looks like there's way more people at the actual game.
Exactly, yeah. So he wants to get off of this hunk of rock, and he does that by building a rocket that he needs to find the resources for.
And
so
are those the only 4 resources that you need throughout the game?
it's kind of the whole periodic table of this world, yeah. So we've made it a little simpler than having like 100 different things. But yeah, out of those, like the metals and the silicon is mostly mechanical stuff, and then the carbon and water is going to be all the organic stuff. So there's creatures also that if I go in the wrong direction here on the surface, I'm going to find out that's a big mistake because there's like this.
So that guy.
That guy is like a bad dude that I don't want to be.
Say.
He's pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed. Do we have audio?
Oh, wow.
I think audio would be nice at this point. We can have some cool sound effects. I don't know if we would hear that or not, but he has a very disgusting
Dan,
sound.
you seem very calm while you're being...
Yeah, exactly. He's chomping on my head, and I think there's acid involved.
Oh,
and
wow.
I think I just died, and that's like what's left of my
All right,
my
good run.
body.
Good run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems your head is gone.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate way to go. So you wouldn't want to go to that direction. It's something you realize pretty quick, you have to go and seek shelter, right? So we get
Okay,
into
so if
the
you
ground.
die, is it pretty forgiven? As in, you just restart? from
Yeah,
the beginning?
yeah.
Okay.
You just died again.
We restart again, and I just died again. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like the Spelunky thing, you know, like sometimes these parts kind of kill me on crash, you know, and sometimes that is unhealthy to crash in a ship. But you know, our physics are extremely, you know, unpredictable, and that's a double-edged sword. Sometimes really funny stuff happens, and like this platforming is not a strict platformer, right? Like it's very simulation and physics driven. So, you know, the jetpack is actually emitting particles that are heavy and that cause you to go up because they push you in, you know, with a recoil. So it's all physically driven.
Yeah.
If we actually move over here, we can start. Well, see, that happened to me. That just like I played this for a while, and it's still like an interesting challenge to walk around. But what I wanted to get back to is like the resources that we have. What do you do with those? You want to build vehicles, right? So you can actually 3D print anything you have in your database and ride around with it, either in as a character that you like a creature that you find, like these things, for example. If I want to absorb these weird little things, I collected now that actual blueprint, and I can create that thing again. So I will be discovering blueprints as I, you know, roam through this planetoid.
And how quickly are you able to pull those up? You kind of made that thing on the fly.
Yeah,
so you have all these blueprints. How are you accessing them so quickly?
So there's a menu that I have here that is my database of the different things I have, and it's very kind of basic in the beginning. There's only a few things in here, like this basic rover, which is pretty much the crappiest thing ever. It breaks really quickly. You know, if I hit it too hard on a wheel, it'll actually break off the wheel and so on. But anything that's kind of damaged, I just recycle, right?
Yeah,
so I suck up the resources inside and then build a new thing, you know, right on the fly. Now I have a pristine vehicle. So I'm going to leave that behind because I want to get down here and show you some other stuff that we have in the demo. We have a little rifle here that I just picked up, and it shows you kind of like the dynamic destruction when I shoot these boxes. You know, there's actually entry and exit wounds that happen not only to boxes, obviously, but also to, you know, other robots and creatures.
Oh my!
So this
that
little guy,
hostile.
yeah. So this little guy just started freezing me with his freeze ray. It makes me blue, but also my joints end up not moving very well. They get stiff.
Oh God!
And his, you know, the parts of me also become brittle. So if I get hit too hard, it'll actually
just
shatter.
lose an arm.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't move very well anymore. Like I'm kind of like
And over
crawling.
time, does that eventually thaw away?
Yeah, exactly. So the temperature, there's like a thermodynamic model. It's a very fancy word for that. You know, if stuff gets too hot, they will catch fire. And if they get too cold, then you know, the things that I talked about will happen to you. This is another example. This is kind of like a prototype creature we have. He's a nasty tentacle that just like tosses me around.
Oh wow!
But if I use the jetpack while he's close by, he'll actually start burning. He just took my thing that I dropped and started tossing that around.
So he just picks up what's close to him?
Exactly. So there's an AI script that's running in him, and we'll talk a little bit more about how these things are built, because it's something gets pretty interesting later on. If you have any interest in actually changing anything you've seen here, we ship the game with all the tools that we built everything with ourselves. So it's
and
really...
We're going to like get into more detail with that later, right?
Absolutely,
right,
yeah.
awesome.
So let's see here. So this is like the final guy in our little short demo here. I'm going to pick up this rifle again. And you see how parts of me are like actually red now because they're hot from the fire that I was in before.
So that's the opposite of what you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. So this guy will definitely fire me up if I get too close. He has like flamethrowers in his hands. So I want him to not make progress towards me. So he melted off the front of my face there, and I'm trying to shoot his legs. The gun is still firing, so I'm going to turn off the lighting so we can see the damage I did to him. So there's no actual HP points in this. Like he doesn't have like a. My gun is still firing, and it killed him. So that was awesome.
I think your hand's still on the trigger. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So, but you saw the actual physical damage that was done to this guy, and he's still writhing around and like kind of trying to move. His AI script is still running, and so. This is a principle that we're designing the game around, is that there's no explicit HP points that you tick down, but it's actually physical damage that is done to these things.
Wow.
So once he's immobilized, I would go over there and absorb those resources and try to then get them to the surface to build the rocket that I would fly off with, and that's kind of the point of this first planetoid.
Okay.
And you can see where we've like explored now in this planetoid. You know, it's like
that is so cool that you can zoom out and just see exactly where you've gone.
And you see it's a very small part of the planet,
exactly.
actually.
So you see how much you still have left to explore.
So you can go all the way to the center there?
Yeah, you can go to the center. There's a core there. And I can just show you if you go to any other place here, and this like constellation of places that you can go to will be populated by not only us, but also other people making stuff for the game. So this is something we're going to get into in a second. So I can fire up the editors here in this small planet. So I'm actually in orbit already because it's so small. I want to show you like this pit that we've built over here. This is kind of an ugly planet that doesn't look very pretty. It's our test. It's our test scene, kind of.
Test scene, yes.
Right. But here, if we fire up the crazy editors that are all live edited in the game, everything you've seen so far except the painting of the textures was built with these tools that ship with the game. And now I can show you like what you can do in here. You can actually pull in any of these blueprints and have like a robot fight right off the bat and just go and just see what these guys
that's actually
will
just
do.
all you really needed the game to be.
Yeah, so,
I could have
so
just done
this crazy like you know, robot, the worm bot, he has these grinding wheels that he tries to roll over other things with, and you see how it actually is causing this crazy damage to everything else in there.
And he seems insanely overpowered next to these other
pretty
guys
much.
that are just stuck there.
It's not always the case though. Like it's actually fun to just pop in more guys and then you know,
here he goes with this flamethrower.
See, and now he's like cold on one end because the other robot on the other end has like the freezer. Yeah. So you see that it's not always
he's out of commission now.
Fair. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's quite fun to just do this kind of thing where you're like, oh, what will this guy do? He will burn.
He will burn.
Yeah.
Will it burn?
Right. So this is the kind of thing that you could do with the editor. Just play around like this and not really, you know, have to make anything or so on, but just kind of play with the blueprints that you find elsewhere. And we can talk about how you would get more stuff there. But first of all, let me just show you, like, for example, this robot that we looked at for a second. Or actually, this is even better. Vlad, who's sitting next to me.
Let's just pull up Vlad.
Yeah.
I like your horn, Vlad.
He's got a little tentacle up there. I can click on any of these objects here and then actually change the texture that's for his head, for example. If I want his head to be anything else, I can just click on any picture I have on my hard drive, and it'll be, you know, replaced with that. So I can click on that, and then this is an atlas, and now I have a wheel for a head instead, you know. And
Vlad, you're looking a little different now.
All right, see, and then if I didn't like that change, I just undo it. So we have a super powerful tool set here that is like, you can do anything with it,
and
really.
it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's the crazy part.
I have so many screen caps already from this weekend of you, Sue, that I think would make great pioneers.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is literally a Facebook picture that we just found that had like approximately the right angle. You can see how things are put together here, and when you dig deep into these objects, you actually can set the materials, the mass, all this stuff. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it looks overwhelming, but if you hover over everything, it has a tooltip.
Yeah.
And we have tutorials to actually walk people through building entire creatures on robots.
Yeah, because like you might see that there's a lot of options over here on the screen. To give you an example, I am not a programmer myself. I've dabbled a bit in game development, but I've never done programming. So this editor allows you to jump in. You can change images. You know, we're not providing an image editing tool, but most people have access to, you know,
they have
MS
Paint. If they have MS Paint,
then you're
we're good. We're good.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're good.
But the best part is, like, the first thing I learned is how to replace images. I make like own characters. They're not featured here in this build, but you know, you can give yourself
was
a
one
suit.
of them. That guy was one of them.
But like, you can build your own. Like, you can build your own emblems on your armor. You can, you know, go crazy if you like to be an artist. If you want to build your own vehicles, it's really easy to jump into the existing things that are in the game, existing creatures, and to shuffle stuff around, change the animations. If you really want to go further, then, you know, you can also edit the planet as Dan is demonstrating now, but you can also jump into programming. And the game is based on Lua, which is a very visual scripting script.
I wouldn't say visual. I'm the technical guy, so I'm gonna.
You explain that. Like,
so Lua is the actual scripting language that all the game logic is built on. We have a C++ engine. I don't want to get too technical, but the Lua is what drives everything that is the game logic in here. So this is another world. This is an example of that, where the purpose is not to build a rocket to fly off of it. It's actually to race around the planetoid as quickly as you can. So it's an obstacle course.
That's why we see the race.
Exactly, and there's a timer. Yeah, exactly. And this was driven by a script that's just right in here. So if you want to make your own world and you want to dabble with actually coming up with game rules for there, like find the castle, or rescue the princess, or slay the dragon, or whatever you want to do, you can actually set that up in this script for your own world, and then you can share it with friends, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Because first of all, I just want to show off our editing tools for the planet itself. Oops, that's a good way to go. We'll just restart that. This is a work in progress. So anyway, you can actually edit the planetoids themselves and drag in images that you have off of anywhere. So it's, as long as it has an alpha around it, it's going to be very easy for you to just add your own content or use the content that we're shipping with the game. So if I do this here, so this is what we played through before.
Yeah.
I can move over here and actually just expand this cave.
Oh, that is so
and
easy.
Copy, and then go in and actually change the shape of anything I have that will be a good addition to this. That I want. I can scale it. I can do whatever I want.
This is so insane. It's just blowing my mind how not only are there so many tools to use, but how intuitively easy they are to actually edit yourself.
This for a long time.
That's one thing I wanted to mention, because we're honored to be on this stage here at Twitch. One of the things that we've recognized is that you have to make games that are fun to watch nowadays. And if you're looking at people who make content for Twitch or for YouTube or whatnot, you want to give them the opportunity to do crazy things and to have their audience do crazy things. So we want to give Let's Players the chance to actually go to Let's Makers, lower that barrier of entry. I mean, most of us have thought about making games or creating something in a game. Games like Happy Wheels have shown that a community can make awesome stuff for people to play, but you can also make stuff and challenge your community to do cool things with. So we have tutorials. I taught myself how to make guns, how to make vehicles in 10 minutes using tutorials from both our modding community. Every time someone makes something cool in our modding community, we always ask them, okay, that's great. Now explain to us how you did it, so other people can figure that out too.
And sure. So this is where I want to get into the sharing. I made a green heart for you there. I think that's just for you, Vlog.
Thank you, dude.
And
you thought it was for you guys.
Well, they get the pink hearts, right? Why not? Right?
We're not trying to step into
Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, so we have this scene, right, that we've changed. We just hit save scene. What happens then is that it creates this one file on my hard drive. Okay, so I click this picture. It actually will show me exactly where it is on this. So Gamescom World, which is the one we played a second ago, it's a PNG file that is 256 by 256. It's a little preview of it, but it happens to be 30 megs big. Why is that?
Wow.
Because all the textures, all the high-res, everything, the script, everything is in that file. We have kind of hacked this in a way. We're abusing the PNG format. But it works beautifully because not only for scenes do we do that, so you can make your own planet and send it to your friend with just one file. We do it also for the blueprints. So all the different vehicles and all these creatures and so on are in here.
You're gonna have the PNG.
Yes, and so if we want to just add this to our planet when we're playing around, you saw how we dragged in the editor. That can actually be done here as well. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, there we go. So if I want this little guy here, I can just drag him in from my folder here. It can actually be, this is a satellite that flew away, so we get this guy. But then we also have our community that is kind of a closed beta community right now. You guys might be familiar with Slack. It's like this team collaboration tool.
Yeah.
And here we have people actually dragging in their own blueprints, right? So if you want to have a cool gun, let's drag in that cool gun off of Slack directly,
You just
right?
grab that?
That is so easy.
So some guy off of our community, he's an old guard, Shook. Shout out to him. He made this fish bro. Okay, this guy is now in the game now, and if I start up, you should be able to move him around at this point.
No,
oh, that's me actually
that's
right now.
yeah.
So I'm controlling Fish Bro right now.
Can you make Fish Bro bigger?
I can make him bigger.
I want to see his eyebrows in detail.
I see. Let's
Look
see.
at
I think I
him.
have control. Yeah, this is the control that you need to play with.
I think this is a.
There you go.
So I
yes.
actually have a question about these characters that you're able to drag and drop in. I mean,
You just burned off my tail.
Yeah, sorry
how
about
do you
that.
decide kind of like their speed values, their attack values, or is all that?
That's all in that interface that I just showed you before, and also in the script that comes with them. So it's a Lua script that is running for that guy that is also in that PNG file. So if you feel feisty and you can get in there and understand the script, even if you can't, mess around with it. There's really no harm if it crashes the game, which is actually very rare because it shows you the errors instead. It tells you what was wrong with the script and it tells you where that error is. So you can always go in and fix that, whatever.
Bye-bye.
So I'm burning right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So
Reset the
now,
scene.
now,
Fish Bro is
now,
not
we
a bro.
can, now we can zoom in, I believe.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, you can see Fish Bro. He's kind of stuck in a
little
metal.
corner.
Yeah, in metal. And I think his tail is off but he does have a jetpack.
You
in his
absorb my
butt.
tail, yeah.
Yeah, that's
reset the scene.
yeah,
And
we can
let's
just
show them
reset.
what you can do. Like if you want to start the game and you feel kind of lonely, or you
Oh, that's right.
you're thinking about like maybe I want some help. This is something that we've just implemented like a few months ago.
Yeah,
but
the actual kind of co-op, like on and off. Like, so if I have this dummy guy here, right? So I want to create a buddy, so I can just with some resources spray onto this dude, and now I have to I have my buddy Vlad here actually pick up the controller. Is it not that one? It's that one.
Is it?
Yeah, you got it.
No, it's not. It's
oh,
yours.
Oh, it is that one. Okay, sorry about
Yeah,
that.
no worries.
We do a little bit of a controller jiggle. So we can actually have more people here too. Oops, sorry. So
You
if,
just absorbed
so if
me
I
again.
kill him, I can create another guy, or he could kill me and then recreate. So it goes from being single player to multiplayer locally for
second.
now. Yeah, we are working on making this network multiplayer as well. The engine and the technology is all set up for that, but that's something that's going to come at a later stage. We are releasing this game in September, which is this month. It's this month in a day.
Very soon,
Yeah.
in a day, yes.
Yeah, September 15th, early
Oh.
access on Steam. So
So
Look,
mid-September.
Yeah,
I've got a
exactly.
doggy now.
yeah,
He's on my
actually
leash.
use the leash. Ah, so that was.
I will
so
save
you're-
you.
Yeah,
I will save you.
yeah. Well, I don't think so because he's chomping on me pretty good there.
No.
Oh yeah, maybe I'm still alive. I am actually still alive. If I'm using a jetpack.
Use your jetpack.
burning
Burn him
on
from the inside. Burn
Yeah.
him from the inside.
So I think
Oh,
my jetpack
that-
flew away actually.
Your jetpack.
Your
He
jetpack
spat it out.
bounced.
He spat it out and it flew into orbit. So.
Okay, so this is kind of an intelligent.
Can you unlock the
enemy there.
blueprints? I want to show the B gun.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
for
I'm gonna avenge Dan right now.
Go for it.
I've actually heard legend of the B-gun. I haven't heard a lot about this game before you guys actually sat down and talked to us, and I'm really excited to see.
Yeah.
But I heard from like 4
Behold,
different
the
people.
B-gun.
So go for
B-gun.
it. Go for it. Fire the B gun. So the B gun emits a bunch of bees, and this was also made by our community. So the bees,
Revenge.
the bees
Oh, that
follow
is
the cursor. So
awesome.
get a bunch of them out there, and they actually follow your cursor.
Yeah,
and
drop
you can,
me down there if you can with the
What's
editor.
that?
Yeah, drop some victims. Drop
Yeah,
some Vlads.
yeah, let some Vlads in there. Yeah, let's do that.
You'll see the glory of the B gun.
The glory of the B gun.
So the
Wait,
best
are
part
you about
is-
to be murdered by the B-gun?
Oops. Yeah.
It happens
Zoom back
often
in here.
during demos.
Yeah.
I've gotten used to it. People
He
seem to
seems
enjoy
really into it. He's like, put me in,
Right,
coach.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's ready.
he's got this.
Okay.
it. All right, here
Right.
we go. Bye-bye.
So
Bye-bye,
yeah,
Vlad.
the bees are actually
Oh,
following
God.
the cursor, and yeah, it's eating up the Vlad. So it's a crazy thing that someone in the community made on that Slack community.
Yeah, that's our good old buddy Max. He actually was one of the modders that we encountered in our Pioneer program, and we were so amazed by the cool stuff that he was doing that we actually hired him on board. Half of the team on Planetoid Pioneers are actually former modders from our previous game, Cortex Command.
Wow.
It's just amazing what people can do if you give them the right tools, and
Yeah,
it just
I
gives
just-
us an amazing talent pool of people to work with.
It's so crazy because as I'm watching, I just feel like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
Like,
that's scary, right? At the same time, we need to stay focused and make this game, so we're launching it on early access on September 15th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, we are a user-generated driven game, so content-driven game, so we challenge people to come in, use our tutorials. They can get personal help from us on our Slack, and they will come up with things like the B gun that we've never thought of as developers. And we embrace that. We acknowledge that, once you get a game out there and you give the people the right tools, they might come up with things that are like 10 times more awesome than we would ever be able to come
Yeah,
up
this
with.
is crazy, and just that's just awesome. And in terms of the feedback that you're getting from the community, where is that exactly? Is it on Steam?
Well, we don't have the Steam page up for this yet. It will
Okay.
be up with early access, obviously.
Yeah.
We have a place you can sign up on signup.planetoidpioneers.com.
You can go there if you want.
Where the actual place for getting into our community is there. So it should be right there.
Yeah, there you
we
go.
have about 1,500 people waiting in line here. After you sign this up, you get put on a waiting list. We're trying to get just a certain amount at a time in, but
Yeah, we're letting people flow in slowly,
Yeah,
but
so it
with
doesn't get
obviously
too
early
crazy.
access coming
Yeah.
up, we're going to drop everyone in really soon.
Yeah.
You can see there's conversations about particular
Oh.
blueprints
see a
that people
fine,
share.
I
fine
was gonna
website
say.
here. we have a little editor tutorial here on a fabulous website called Twitch TV.
I happen to know about that website.
Yeah. And here I go through some things, you know, and it's also in the general here. We actually have the test build, so you can just download everything you've seen here once you get into this community.
Slack,
so
yeah, we're super open about this stuff because obviously the game is not going to be what it is now, and once we get out of early access. So if people, you know, even if people like spread this, they're not going to get the full experience.
Yeah. So no, I mean we're super open about, you know, Cortex Command accidentally built this crazy modding community, and we wanted to really kind of lean into that with this game, where like we are now providing all the tools that we use to make the game ourselves. Because we realize that people just make better stuff than we can on their own. You know, we're a small team.
I'm just really curious about what the next B gun is going to be, like what the next cool thing is going to be.
Totally. I mean, we have crazy stuff. I mean,
we have a balloon gun. We have the grappling hooks.
So this balloon gun actually attaches balloons to. Is that? Can I? Yeah, let's do that. It's just an example. It attaches balloons and it makes things float away and into orbit, and then they pop, and then the thing just falls to its death.
So, like I said, we're actually here at the Indie Mega booth. We're at the Kathy Rain booth. If you look on the map, together with our friends from Raw Fury, working together with them, and they gave us a little corner there.
Yeah.
We got some swag for our fans. They're right here. If you are here and you've played Cortex Command, come to our booth at the Indie Mega booth, and we have some swag for our loyal